Hello there, this is the Misanthropic Lord, and welcome to another game in my Let's Play series. Today I'm looking at Tharsis, as in catharsis. I'm assuming that's where some of the root base of the word comes from, at least. This is a game about being in space and having everything go wrong. Everything that you could possibly think of going wrong, from fires, holes into the spaceship's hull, and people just dying because they have too many wounds in their body to sustain their life force. The basic general concept of the The general concept of this game is that you roll dice and you make sure that that dice can repair the stuff that's happening to your ship that's bad. That was a really overcomplicated way of saying when bad stuff happens, you roll dice, and then if you have a dice roll that equals or surpasses the number associated with repairing the bad thing in question, usually like a fire or a malfunction in the life support systems or a breach in the hull, that sort of thing, then you're able to repair whatever is going on with the ship. However, if you're not able to, there's usually repercussions to that, whether it's your ship takes more damage, your people take more damage, or some other negative thing that might happen as a result of either of those two things. Basically, it's an electronic board game, honestly, but it's single player, so you get to play with yourself. And I know that I'm not even gonna make that joke. You know where I'm going with it, or at least I think you know where I'm going with it. If you don't know where I'm going with it, then I don't know if this is the right channel to be watching for you guys. There are other nicer channels that have not as many adult themes. This is another type of game where I am punishing myself by playing it. You will die playing this game so many times, and it is going to be so unfair to you that you're probably going to put it down after playing it for the first couple of times, just because you have to have a certain strategy thought out before you do anything. You have to use everyone to their best potential, and then you have to figure out how to place them in such a way that it's beneficial for all of them, or maybe just one or two of them that survive. It's hard to describe how much tactical thinking comes into this, and then how you have to use tactical thinking in order to come up with a better strategy in surviving for the 8 weeks that you're trying to combat all of these bad, negative, malfunctioning things that are happening to your ship. Most of these repairs that you need to do need to be almost perfect. Based on the number of dice that your people have, nearly all of them have to do with having very high rolls with the max set of dice that a person can have. So you either have to be very, very lucky, or you have to use everyone's skill set to their max potential. And I mean that. You need to make sure that wherever you put people, you're thinking about what they're going to have to do 1 or 2 turns ahead of what is going to happen to the spaceship. You have to think ahead in terms of what might be malfunctioning in the future, what you need to fix and what needs to be fixed right now, but also tactically fixing things, what you need to fix, but what you can leave to not fix. Because if you fix it now, fix it this turn, something worse might happen to the ship next turn. But even then, even if you think about all that, even if you look at the ship, put people in the right places where they need to be, I am convinced that there are some states that you just can't win. There are some situations that the game puts you in that are impossible. Just complete fail states no matter how good you are at this game. There were some starting conditions. I found myself in a place where a couple of my people only had 1 or 2 dice on them, and then they had repairs that they needed to do that were in excess of like 25 or even 30 right at the beginning, where I would be taking damage, 3 or 4 damage to my ship right at the start. There's no possible way that I'm surviving 7 weeks with that sort of starting state. And it just gets worse. The amount of stuff that it piles on you if you're not doing everything in the max efficiency that you're supposed to be doing it, it's not even worth playing it through to see what it's like at the end. It's like I would see that sort of of starting state, and I would just restart because I knew that the chances of me not making a mistake and getting to the end were so low that I was just like, well, this is a fail state. I'm gonna lose this no matter what I'm gonna do. And I'm sure there's people out there who have played this and who are like, oh, no, you're just not good at the game. You just don't know how to use the tactics and the people to your advantage well enough in order to win every time. And you know what? Maybe that's true. Maybe if I spent more time and really crunched the numbers on this game, min-maxing it to the best effect, that, you know what, maybe it's possible to win every single time. I find it unlikely because it seems so random that the randomness would have to have at least one or two different odd combinations where there are no winning factors. And I understand that the odds of that happening in games is very slim, but there's also near impossible states that seem more likely for this game. I don't. It's one of those games that you love to hate because you don't want it to beat you. You don't want the difficulty to beat you as a person. You look at it and you try to logic yourself out of every situation. I have won this game before, which is why I have access to the other character that I'm using in here. That was because, honestly, I lucked out. I got into the right situations, I had the right people, and I had enough carryover with my dice that I was able to do extra things with what the ship was giving me, like having extra food, having extra dice, being able to heal my people. I was able to station my people in such a way that after they had enough repairability to get rid of malfunctioning items, I was able to bring them back afterwards and use those people in order to buff the rest of the crew. Sometimes that's just not possible. Sometimes things happen where it's just you have people going through fires and then they have to fix a malfunctioning thing where one of the dice or two of the dice have fire damage or just damage in general on them. And if you try to roll and if your character only has 2 or 3 health, that character's gonna die, and having people die in this game is one of the worst things that can happen. Yeah, you can then eat them, and that gives you some dice back for those characters, but really, honestly, if you have one person die, it's a really hard climb back onto trying and winning the game. It's possible, and I've seen it done before. There's achievements in the game that allow you to make that sort of end state where you only have like one, or I think it's one. Yeah, you only have one person who makes it to Mars. So it must be possible. It's just so hard. And here's the thing, is it worth it? Is the game worth playing? Is the fun worth having? I don't know. That's the thing. Like, the story is very sparse, but it's very sci-fi. It's very fulfilling in that, well, fulfilling in the same way that, like, half a bag of popcorn is. You wouldn't turn down half a bag of popcorn, but only if you kind of knew what you were getting yourself into in the first place. You're not going to just take any half bag of popcorn. It's fun for that sort of thing, and it's fun to say, yeah, I beat it, I won against it, but it's also the computer game equivalent of one of those little toys from like the 80s and early 90s that you roll across the ground and it pops up those little plastic balls inside of the little plastic dome. Does anyone remember those? That's what I'm thinking of. It's like, as a kid, you would just push that thing around the house and it would be like, pling, 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 and it'd be like, haha, yay, the colors, you know? Except instead of just having it do that, you would have to like roll it across the ground in such a way and in such a form that if you didn't do it the right way, that extended punching glove would come out of the handle and smash you in the face. That's kind of what this game is. It's not fun unless you are getting into the proper rhythm and proper momentum to move forward in the game. This is one of 2 games I played in the last month where I've had to resist the urge to physically pick up my laptop, chuck it at my window, hoping that it would break, and having all the glass and laptop shatter amongst the people below. And in their agony, in their throes of pain and like bloodied bodies, just like, oh God, why? For what reason would you do this? As they're crying out, and there's like a little girl's like, where's mommy? Where'd my mommy go? And the mother's just like lying on the sidewalk, and there's another guy who's just like, oh, why would you do this? And I just look out the window. I was playing Tharsis, and all of a sudden they would just stop for a second, and then they would all get into a line, and they would just look up at me, a single tear running down each of their faces, and they would just salute and say, Godspeed, we are sorry that we got in your way. And then they would just drag the bodies and the wounded away. That's how I feel about this game sometimes. I don't think that is in any way exaggerated. It's not a bad game, and for the price that they're asking, it's actually very understandable that the amount of gameplay that you get for this game is comparable to the price that you're paying for it. That being said, it's one of those games where you have to have a certain level of sadomasochism in order to play it effectively. You have to want to spend time to try and beat this game. And it will take you some time before you do. And then it gives you challenge modes after you do that, after you beat it, to make it even more difficult. And then you can spend more time. You can then spend some time afterwards thinking about your own mortality and how knowing that you're going to die isn't as bad as it seemed to be before you played this game. That's how I feel about Tharsis. It's not a bad game. It is a game that will frustrate you to the point where you just need to stop. You need to reevaluate what you want out of life. You need to go and write a couple of things, like you have to start creating a diary, and then you have to focus on what is important to you in life, because this game will destroy that. It will destroy everything that you hold dear and love and feel that is good with the world. And then sometimes you just need to stop and remember that this game isn't the world. And for what it does, it's actually very good. Is it as memorable as games like FTL or as large of a game as Star Citizen? No. But it does tell an appropriate sci-fi story, and it has enough of a challenge factor that it keeps you going. If you like frustration and you feel like you need to complete things, then this is the type of game that is right up your alley. And it was worth it for me. Is it worth it for you? I really don't know. The dice are red because she ate a person. Well, they were already dead, but that's why the dice are red. It's a nice little touch that cannibals get red dice, red bloody dice. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if you look at some gameplay videos, take a look at this one. I've been playing in the background and just kind of futzing around. It's one of those games where it's not for anybody really, but for those people who want to beat it and want to have an appropriate story that's not earth-shattering, but it's decent, then go ahead and try plopping down some money for it. What I'm gonna do is, I'm really liking the strategy of me having the gameplay video and then just kind of random futzing around afterwards. I think it's a good metric. If you do like it, go ahead and hit that like, and then tell me in the comments below. If you don't like it, also hit the like, and then put in the comments below. Because everyone likes likes. I like likes, and I'm pretty sure that you like likes. So if you like this, please like the like so I can like the likes that you're liking. And let's see, do I have anything else for the end part here other than the fact that this ship is not going anywhere? Yeah, I'm gonna have new videos out. I'm trying to think of a schedule. I've been usually doing it as this kind of a seat of my pants sort of thing, where I'll do something and then I'm one of those guys where if I do something, I put it out right away. I have a lot of videos on my D drive just waiting to be edited. It's just sometimes I just kind of want to sit down. And some days I'm really motivated. Like this weekend, I was really motivated to get that Tomb Raider thing out. I'll stop talking though. And if you guys are interested in seeing any videos, please use the comments below to do that thing as well. Thank you for all your support again. Please share the video if you like it. Please share any of the videos if you like them. And yeah, keep being awesome, guys. Really appreciate it. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, this is the Misanthropic Lord is signing off. Take care, guys. You know, I have to be honest, when I saw that cookbook in here, I thought it was a volunteering pamphlet. To think. To serve man. Did not see that coming. Whew, what a twist. What a twist. Alright, Pascal, old buddy. You're gonna have to do it. You have to fix that module. If you don't, I can't move you anywhere else and you have the most dice. I believe you, man. I believe you. I read your high school yearbook, and I saw your name in there. It was no 1s and 4s Pascal. I need that. I need that skill set right now. No 1s or... You're a bum. You're a bum, Pascal. I'm glad you got... What was he injured by? How the watering was broken, so there's an injury there? God, that makes no sense. Well, at least now they can make the joke if they get gassed later on. They can be like, oh man, after eating him, I don't feel so good. You feel that pressure? And they can be like, yeah, at least 1 Pascal. We ate another human being in order to live. Oh man. Okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and assess the choices that the game is presenting right now. -2 dice for us. Oh, okay, so what that means is I don't have enough dice in order to repair the ship, and I die next turn. Good. Okay, let's put that option aside. Let's put that on the table for right now and see the other option. +4 for the ship, -2 health for all crew. Oh, good. So everyone fucking dies outright right now. It's like the Republican primaries. Topical humor. I guess I'll choose the one that doesn't kill me outright. Give me another turn to flounder around and then kill me at your leisure, game. Do that. Let's choose that option. Fucking I hate you so much. Did you see that? Did you see that? I went from 1 damage bar to having the entire bar of the ship, the possible health of my ship. All of it. Unfair is not even a word that could in any way be strong enough to define the situation that just happened. The only way that I can possibly make this work is that I have to get rid of all the damage repair blocks. Or I have to repair the ship enough and then get rid of the repair blocks. Now that might be possible, except the repair blocks that I need to get to, I can't get to because my health is so low on all of my people. This is it. I should officially rename the ship to the Kobayashi Maru and just salute and make its way into the dusty heavens. Give me some fucking more dice!
I'm trying to repair the ship, but you're not giving me the dice I need to do it. And I'm trying to get the people who make more dice into the places where they can make the dice work, but it's not working. It's not working.
I went full Donald Duck there. I'm also a little bit woozy now. I think I wasn't able to get enough blood to my head there for a second. Alright, so I'm glad to report that I was able to prepare the ship just enough to only nearly kill us all. So that's good. You know, if I could mail a box filled with dog shit to the developers with like a $100 bill just buried deep inside of it, I think that's the general idea of what I think about this game. It has a lot of really good little concepts to it, and the graphics are done really well, and the music is very suspenseful, and the story is very sci-fi-esque, and that deserves a reward in and of itself. But seriously, I hope that every time that any of you try to go to sleep, developers, that there's a car alarm that goes off at 12:15, 2:30, and 4:25, we'll say, at night, to wake you up, not every week, and not every other week, but in a pattern that is undefined that happens at least once every 10 to 13 days. I hate you guys so much. But thanks for the game.